Greetings and namaste. Today we're going to talk about misplaced parental love. Now, is that even something? Can parental love ever be misplaced? Love is boundless, it's unconditional. To nurture a helpless little child to an adult leads to such huge eternal sacrifices and amazing amounts of love and development for both the child and the parent. And yet, there is so much pressure on parenting, and there is so much of talk about what are the different ways in which we can parent, and how is it that we can do our best to nurture and bring out the best in our children. So, technically, there is no misplaced parental love, there's a misplaced expression, which probably leads to consequences that we never thought of, never intended, never wanted. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's take a simple case. A boy called Ronnie, aged 10 years old, school going, a bright child, the teacher's pet, gets A plus grades, and the parents are super proud of him. Ronnie has very supportive parents, so whenever there is a project, he runs to them and they very gladly help him and probably sometimes help him a little too much, to the point that sometimes he says, Mama, ye khatam kar do. I'm going to play. Or Dad, will you finish it for me? I don't quite know how to do this. And so the days go on. And one day, Ronnie can't finish his project through his parents because he has to do it himself. On a weekend, he's alone. His parents have gone out somewhere. And he is with his grandparents who haven't really been able to help him with projects earlier. So, this is really the first time Ronnie is trying to submit a project on his own. He's not sure. He feels a little lost. He misses his parents. And what he sees as the final product doesn't look as good as what he does with his parents. But anyhow, no choice. There was a medical emergency. His parents had to be away. So the next morning, he takes his project to school, and his teacher looks at it and says, Ronnie, is that yours? You usually do much better. And that was it, because he wanted his A plus grade, and he knew that with this project, I won't get it. So he returns home and he talks to his mom as they share about the day at school. And his mom reassures him. And she also feels a little guilty for not being there to do the project for him. And she says, let's try and do it again. I think your teacher will accept it. I'll put in a note in the diary. I'll talk to her. And Ronnie is convinced and he hopes that this will go well. It does. The teacher is happy to get a much better model. She can put it up in the exhibition. And everything seems all right. Fast forward a few months or a few years, and you hear sometimes a parent saying, the child doesn't want to work on their own. They're always seeking somebody's help. In fact, they don't want to work at all. Now, here is where we need to pause and see, where did this behavior start? Did we show our love in a manner that allowed and nurtured this behavior of not wanting to work or taking things easy? Did it also send in a message to Ronnie that it's okay if you don't work? Somebody else will do your job for you and you can submit it as your own. And what does that do to his confidence? What does that do to his level of honesty? What does that do to his overall self-esteem? Did we somewhere hamper his overall development? both in terms of his skills, his knowledge, his academic abilities, and his personality. By going that extra mile, which we thought is going to really help him get his good grades and show our love in that way. Pause and think. We may not have Ronnies in primary school. We may have middle schoolers. We may have high schoolers. We may have adult children who may be demanding things or doing things that are not quite up to their age. Where did it start? What is it that we did as parents wherein we expressed something or did something for them, or maybe chose to not do something which could have nurtured them? These are some of the ways in which nowadays you see a lot of love being expressed. Buying things, sometimes even buying projects for submission. Assignments are bought. And the reason is everybody is doing it. And this is how I can show my love. What am I earning for anyway? These are aspects of misplaced parental love. It would be helpful to think and reflect and engage in those expressions of love that will nurture not just the today of the child, but also the tomorrow. Thank you and namaste. And thank you so much for seeing this video.